Introduced now as one of our guests today, and not just a guest, but also a mate of mine. We've known each other for I don't even know how many years, and I really compliment him and take my hat off to him. Daniel Mackenzie, of course, the director of KidzCan, really looking after kids' cancer and kids. Oh, you know, Dan, I'm sorry, matey, I've said this to you before. Brilliant organization you run, and well done. Now, I want to know, Dan. You know, it seems as if cancer cases are going up, particularly in children. Why? I mean, why are we seeing a prevalence of more and more cancer cases coming up?
I think it's not just an issue of childhood cancer, but it's more probably of awareness as well. Mm-hmm. The challenge that we have in Zimbabwe is that our communities, our parents don't know that children get cancer. You know, so that is just the challenge in itself. And,
well, they think cancer is only for adults, is it?
But
that's incredible.
If you ask, you know, any adult out there, you know, we go to awareness campaigns, be it ZITF, be it the agricultural show, and then they see our stand. I mean, when they see KidzCan, the first thing that comes to mind is that, you know, we're a nursery school or something like that. Because, you know. But then when you then ask, you know, we support children with cancer, the first thing that they ask is, well, do children get cancer? You know, so we need to do a lot in Zimbabwe, and not just, you know, in Zimbabwe, but across the world, and especially in Africa as well, that we need to educate our communities that, you know, cancer is there. But, you know, the sad thing about it is that it's curable in children. You know, so we have to play our part. Government has to play its part. You know, for me, I always say that, you know, we would do ourselves a huge favor if, for example, a mother or a grandmother in, let's take Bingo, for example, knew the word retinoblastoma, even if they could not pronounce it.
Well, okay, I want to get to that because you're right. I mean, I must be frank, even I don't know retinoblastoma. But tell us about the normal, the more, what's the word, the more prevalent cancer in children. What do we see in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, so in Zimbabwe, the most common cancers are cancer of the eye, which is retinoblastoma, cancer of the liver, which is Wilms tumor, cancer of the blood, which is leukemia, and then again you get your solid tumors. These affecting the lymph nodes, and then of course you get your bone cancers, and of course brain tumors as well.
And what about statistics? So what is it like in Zimbabwe? I mean, you know, as you said, people don't really know, and I hope it isn't being not swept, but people are ignoring it as a news story because this is huge. These are our kids. This is our future. What are statistics like? Yeah,
sure. I mean, you know, due to the Data Protection Act that has just been recently released in Zimbabwe, all I could possibly say is that, you know, on average, we are registering between 250 and 300 children every year, and these are new cases. So now these are those that are presenting, you know, and I believe that there's probably another 50% more out there who don't know, you know, that.
Because, I mean, what is it like? I mean, I obviously can appreciate there's two different, I won't call them different worlds. You've got the rural and urban environment, and I think urbanites maybe be more exposed to forms of cancer in kids, but rural folk, I mean, how are you as KidzCan trying to sort of get the message out there to rural communities that, hey, this kid isn't just sick because he has a fever or something, this could be a cancer? How does that work?
Sure. So we were fortunate that in 2015 we received a global fund from TIA Australia, and we embarked on an awareness campaign throughout the 10 provinces of Zimbabwe. And we were targeting health workers within the rural areas, but also we were also targeting traditional healers. Because when you go out into the rural areas, they are the first port of call. You know, they are trusted leaders and they're available. The nearest health facility, you know, maybe miles or kilometers away. So a lot of our patients, you know, attend to faith healers and attend to traditional healers first. Mm-hmm. So you'll find that by the time they get to the hospital, it's often a year later. So we find that 60% of our children will have sought alternative treatment first. So, you know, we have to then just, you know, bring childhood cancer to traditional healers and also to faith healers. Yes, they do what they do, but we've taught them the signs and symptoms, and we want them to be part of the national strategy as well, to say that, look, refer the children early because they can be treated.
Now tell us about, is it the Say You Chance Foundation? Is it the worldwide one, this foundation that you're talking about? I mean, how does that work? Is it sort of bringing everyone together?
Yes. So KidzCan Zimbabwe is part of Childhood Cancer International.
Okay.
Of which I'm a board member as well. So Childhood Cancer International represents the patients and the parents. And then we have SIOP, which is Society for Pediatric Oncology, which then represents the medical fraternity, your nurses, your doctors, etc.
Okay.
So we are part of that global community. And again, our vision is the same, is that, no child should be left behind.
Okay. Now, this is International Childhood Cancer Day. I mean, I saw we had a great with Mary Ryan Singo was there. It looked brilliant. We had talked to that kid from Buhero, survived cancer. Talk to us about International Child Cancer Day.
Yeah, sure. So the 15th of February is a day that is commemorated worldwide over to celebrate and honor children suffering from cancer. In Zimbabwe, we go orange, as I'm dressed in orange.
Oh.
And we celebrate the month. We feel that a day is not enough.
No. In fact, the whole year is what we need, isn't it? Not even a month. Yeah, but it's great to focus.
So for us, it's an awareness opportunity as well. We've partnered with ATS Group of Schools and also other government schools, whereby they choose a day within the month of February to go orange. And also we challenge corporates as well to say, raise awareness by dressing in orange and donating to the cause. So for us, again, the bandana is our brand mark and trademark. The reason being is that, one, the color orange, orange brings hope. It's a happy color as well.
Yeah.
If you give kids crayons to color a flower or something like that, you'll find that 60 or 70% of them will choose the color orange.
Yeah.
So hence for us it's orange. And then we wear the bandana to show solidarity with children suffering from cancer. When a child undergoes treatment, they lose their hair as one of the side effects of chemo. So we shave all the kids' head so that they look the same, they don't feel different.
Yeah.
And then as a result of that, they wear a bandana. So we then are saying that we are in solidarity with the child suffering from cancer.
You heard the appeal. Well, not even an appeal. I'm sorry. I'm telling you guys out there, you corporates, yeah? I mean, think about it. Put your money where your mouth is. Put money to KidzCan. This is about children. Give them the support, whether it's material or monetary support. But hey, there's my challenge to you today. Danny, one thing that interests me, of course, it happens, I've seen this with other cancer, particularly adult cancer, and I'm not sure if it's the same for children. One, the affordability, how it's expensive, and two, where are there any specialist places that kids can go to get treatment? Are there any, like I see on TV a lot, cancer wards with kids in hospitals? Talk to us.
Yeah, sure. So cancer as a disease is very expensive. And again, unfortunately, when you look at it globally from a health perspective, in terms of the numbers and then the pharmaceuticals, they're not investing heavily in cancer drugs because of the numbers. So that's why production is not high, and therefore the cost is high. So for us as a foundation, we then brought it upon ourselves to say, well, we are raising awareness. We're asking children to come to the hospital. They get to the hospital, there's no medication. So we've then changed our mandate to then start supporting in terms of the drugs.
KidzCan is doing that now.
Correct.
Oh, that's
yes.
brilliant.
So we support 4 hospitals in Zimbabwe. We have an MOU with the Ministry of Health and Childcare. Our main focus ward or hospital is Parenyato Hospital, which is the A4 ward, which we've adopted, and we support 100%. We also have a KidzCan Oncology ward at Impilo, and we also support the Eye Hospital, which is Sekuru Kaguya Hospital, and also the Salim Mugabe Hospital in Bare. So the services that we provide are bus fares, admission packs when they come through, diagnostic imaging. Again, you know that our facilities are challenged at the moment. So we've partnered with outside partners where they give us 50% discount so that at least every single child has the opportunity to be diagnosed correctly, because without the correct diagnosis, they cannot be treated. And then, of course, we then support with the chemotherapy drugs themselves.
Incredible. Yeah,
we've also supported through also a new partnership that has just come on board. 3 doctors that trained in South Africa. So we have 3 qualified specialists at the A4 Ward Special. I mean, it's an amazing facility. I think that it just needs more publicity.
Well, more publicity and support. You see why I'm calling for all you guys to please support KidzCan, support the hospitals. You know what I mean? Why not? I don't understand this, guys. Anything to do with kids. Honestly, I think I'd rather go broke than worry about a kid getting sick. Dan, obviously, I see your stuff here. Obviously, you've got your, oh wow, guys, you've got it. Whereabouts are you? How do people contact you? I mean, is it something to find out more about things that are going on? Wear orange, 15th of Feb, guys. You see that? I hope you can see that. Brilliant. All the stuff that's come with Daniel. Where do they contact you to find out more information?
Yeah, sure. So our website is www.kidzcanzimbabwe.org. You can also follow us on Facebook, KidzCan Zimbabwe, social media handles, KidzCan_Zimbo14. But we've just moved into a new facility. We've partnered and been very fortunate to get local support. KidzCan partnered with Roundtable Zimbabwe, and we've also partnered with the Meikles Foundation. And we've now created the Rainbow Children's Village. It is the first of its kind in Zimbabwe. We've just completed phase 1. This was completed on the 1st of December. Oh. And we've also received our first patient last Thursday. So this is a halfway home for patients who are undergoing treatment but are living outside Zimbabwe. Outside Harare. So again, our statistics in terms of survival rates are low because 40% of our children abandon treatment because of travel. You know, I'll give an example. Lauren, one of our survivors, has been traveling for 2.5 years from Vic Falls. She takes the bus, or has been taking the bus, 6 p.m., arrives here overnight, 6 a.m. she's in Harare. She's on chemo for about 4 or 5 hours. She takes the same bus at 6 p.m. to go back.
Daniel.
And she's been doing that for 6 weeks for the last 2.5 years. So this halfway home then obviously reduces that stress and that burden.
Where's the Rainbow Village?
So we are located on East Road, 111 East Road, which is behind Bon Marché in Belgravia, next door to the National Ballet Society. And it's a fantastic facility. Yeah. It is currently still under construction. Like I say, we've just completed phase 1, and we're looking for more support to come through to conclude. You know,
companies spend so much money on corporate social responsibility, guys. Why don't you look at KidzCan? You know, it's really I'm getting actually emotional, funny enough, you're talking, because on the one side I'm emotional because it's so sad that kids are getting cancer, and the 6 hours traveling for 6 hours, you know, for the whole day for 6 hours and then traveling all the way back. At the same time, I'm joyful that we have someone like KidzCan that is actually doing something about this, and that's why I said I salute you. You cannot believe it. Now, finally, before we let you go, your message to the government, your message to people, your message to parents, your message to kids even, what would that be?
Yeah, I think my message to parents is that, you know, always be look out to any signs and symptoms of something that is unusual. For kids, especially with eye cancer, which is prevalent, all we're asking for is to look for that white spot. And again, you know, play around with your babies. You know, often we leave that to the maid. You know, but, you know, with Wilms tumor, by touching the baby, you can see that there's something wrong. So I was just saying that, you know, look for these signs and symptoms. If something is wrong, just go to your doctor immediately, and then hopefully that we can catch the child early. And then again, you know, to government, we are very fortunate that we have been lobbying to government for quite some time now. Zimbabwe last year has now been chosen as the 4th focus country for the WHO GICC, which is an initiative to increase the survival rate in Zimbabwe to 60% by the year 2030. Yeah. So the fact that Zimbabwe has signed up, WHO is now coming in as a technical partner, and then hopefully the national health strategy has now included a national childhood cancer program, which then you know, highlights childhood cancer, and hopefully through that document, funds can now be released to support childhood cancer in Zimbabwe. I have to shake your hand, my brother. You and your organization, brilliant. Well done. No, thank fantastic. You very much. Yeah, Daniel Mackenzie, Director KidzCan. I'm going to shout out again. Please support them. Whatever way you can. Money, groceries, whatever you've got. I'm sure they'll take it. Building materials for the Rainbow Village. Come on, that's my appeal to you. In fact, I'm going to check up with Daniel to see how many of you have started supporting KidzCan, because I'll tell you what, so worthwhile. I can't believe it. Daniel Mackenzie again, KidzCan. Please, a big shout out to all of you who work for KidzCan and all you kids with cancer. You know what? We love you and we treasure you. Please get better if you can, and please seek help if you do feel. And the parents, please get your kids, particularly to KidzCan or to hospital if you think that they do have cancer.